Good morning, good morning. Today we're going to be taking a look at XRP, some historical price action, and the Sigma coin. So, all right, we're checking in on our momentum here. So I had said yesterday I was thinking they wouldn't get that one last sweep to the downside. Well, they did. They got it, what was that? A couple hours after that video was made. Now we were watching here this little gap on the left-hand side, and this was an expected area that we had that blue box drawn for. I've since deleted it, but we were using that blue box to identify a potential last gap that needs to be cleared in inefficiency on the market here. So we had right over here, let me get the price action, this little spot right here. And sure enough, you can see over here on the right-hand side, we came all the way to it and closed that area. So it was a pretty aggressive final little push there. There's not much really, I mean, everything down here kind of crosses, so that would be, in my opinion, the last of the gaps for maintaining this structure that we're following. And we're being biased towards this structure at the moment simply because we've had a massive reaction off the lows. We'd be back tested here again, closing some of this inefficiency now in this zone. And there's a potential that we continue moving forward and higher based off of our fractal. So when we go to our momentum, that's what we're kind of basing this off of. So 4 hour, not looking great, but also not closed. So we got no major impulsiveness. These guys are crossing, pointed down. This guy is turning purple. But we're going to still have another an hour and a half. So things can change with the market open. That happens here pretty soon. But the one that we're really, our daily, we have already known that this has been not amazing and fairly weak. You know, we can see that this is continuing down its direction, red down here underneath the 50-yard line. So this has been where, you know, the main drag has been that the daily's been pulling us down. And then finally, the one that gives us the optimism, that gives us the bias towards this being a potential reversal area, is simply because we have -2 deviations down here at $1.92. We also have the green that's being shown up here at this level that we were playing off of. Okay, so this has been green. And consistently, you can see here that on the 3-day momentum, we have not been green since back here in August when we had our highs that then have led to this lows here. And then you can see that this was fairly timed for you to catch this move to the upside. Print your 8 and 9ers telling you there's something going on here. It's probably a top, you know, de-risk. And then now we've had this huge drawdown that we're now getting ready to move back to the upside. So here, and then here's again another pullback and sideways, and then you would have caught that, and you would have caught this move right here if you had played these green areas here. So, and then again, the most important one back here, very much would have caught this, right? You would have started right around here, and off you would have gone and made the big returns. So, yeah, so as you can see, we get up to the top of these regions, and we kind of move. And then once we're down at the bottoms, we just kind of stay down here until we start seeing that momentum flip upwards again. So the fact that we're already seeing green is a great sign. And even the false positive greens down in here can play out, but they're not, you know, detrimental. And so we'd say, okay, well, what structure are we looking at off of this? This was just a chop, right? There was nothing happening here. Then we had an impulsive 5 waves. This is the fractal that we're following for this super zoomed in area that we're in over here. So when we go back to, let's go to our 1 hour, to our price action, we've got ourselves this large 5-way move, an ABC, and then when we go in here and look, this is that same area, 5-way moves with an ABC. So when we zoom in on this little price action here, you got this kind of bear flag, and then 5-way move to the downside, ABC, and then another 5 waves. And so when we come back in and zoom in over here, large bear flag through here, and then you got your 5 waves right here, kind of, right? Oh, there's actually, I'm sorry, here's your bear flag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's your final low. So the expectation then is that this holds, and we're able to maintain this price action above that low. And with that, that would mean that we would actually be like right here in this price action. So that's how I'm looking at this right now, based off of just kind of this fractal view of having the 5-way move down, ABC, 5 ABC again right here. And you have your 5-way move down, ABC, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves to the downside for completion of a 5, 3, 5 corrective structure. So we will watch this, see if we can hold that level just for fun. Let's just see what we got measured here. Yeah, let's go. Bonk. It's getting pretty hairy there. Yeah, it's down at the 886, so we'll see if that holds. It's gotten pretty aggressive, but more of a gap close than anything else. So we'll just see how that plays. And then jumping over to historical price action. This is what we were talking about yesterday, and this area of Bitcoin, which is in orange, and candles is in XRP, which is in multicolored. We have a flat structure that played out for Bitcoin right here at this region. And into that flat structure, you have a situation where XRP got up to a new area of high, right? Chopped sideways, and then had an explosive move to the upside as Bitcoin worked its way out of that region right there. And then it consolidated and then caught up with Bitcoin as it ran into the next leg. Excuse me. So percentages wise, here was from the lows, we had a potential run of a 600%, 500, 600% roughly move off those lows. Then we consolidated, and then from those next lows, we ended up doing the middle run, and that gave us a 13x into the middle. And then again, massive consolidation as Bitcoin outperforms again on the dominance, okay? And then finally, into this last run, this is what X-Force was saying, as we got towards the top, money rotated, and XRP massively outperformed into Bitcoin's retrace. So you can see that Bitcoin set a lower high right here, and XRP ultimately sets a higher high, right? So you can see how that kind of plays out, that into that retrace, and then everything's done. So this is the expectation right now, and this was that big run that X-Force was saying. So just from that impulse, it's 14x, and then you have another 20x right here. So the whole move ends up being pretty aggressive if you sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, right? And you can get a huge amount of potential returns, but this could take a long time, especially if this was a year for that region, is what we're surmising. I'm assuming that that's going to be like forever. So if that's the case, so we'll just kind of see now that institutions are here, Wall Street's here, everybody's playing in this game. We're just going to see how this ultimately ends up tracking as we watch Bitcoin start to outperform, put in its bull flag, right? So we're looking for Bitcoin now. If we can get Bitcoin to kind of do this thing, put in its bull flag, XRP takes off into that bull flag, and it just does, and it so Bitcoin will actually run ahead, then backtest, and into that backtest XRP sends. So that's what I'm watching for. That's the 3-day momentum, and that's what we're expecting at this point, is that the 3-day is telling us that we are already on our way out of here. So we just got to be patient and ignore price action at this point. So all right, hopefully that. Oh, and then Sigma. Let's jump over there. So Sigma's been no benefit of XRP's weakness at this point, and you can just see this massive falling wedge move, and we had a capitulation here at the end of the day that led to a big smackdown. There is some buying stepping in, but nowhere. Everyone's cautious. Everyone's kind of out of the space at this point, and we're just waiting for we're all just waiting for price action to continue moving up. The good news is that as we continue to see these breakdowns, so far we're putting a higher low in, which is what we were hopeful for and looking for, is this higher low to start the trend out of here. 2, we also have a potential for even more upside as this gets lower and lower and lower in the market cap. It's going to take less and less and less and less money to lock up supply until the supply squeeze occurs, and we can then start seeing our percentages play out. So, again, just a simple return to the prior all-time high, pretty good returns on its own. So we'll just be watching, and we just need everybody who's capitulating to uncapitulate, and then hopefully they can capitulate higher. And then we just need that mental shift to play out for the overall market right now. But it's been painful with just watching XRP's price action fall, and we're just waiting for, at any point, a breakout. So all right, we'll check in tomorrow, and thanks so much for watching.